Bigfoot, Pacific Northwest forest giant. You're hiking through the Pacific Northwest when you smell something that makes a garbage truck seem like expensive French perfume. That's your first warning sign. The second warning? Those aren't bear tracks you're staring at. They're human-shaped, but twice the size, and they're heading straight towards your innocent little campsite like a freight train. Bigfoot is basically what happens when evolution decides to create the ultimate forest bouncer with serious anger management issues. Standing 8 feet tall and weighing more than your car, this furry nightmare has been terrorizing hikers since before your great-grandfather was even born. The famous Patterson-Gimlin film from 1967 shows this massive creature casually strolling through California like he owns the mortgage on the entire forest. Eyewitnesses describe Bigfoot throwing boulders the size of refrigerators and ripping trees out of the ground like they're dandelions in your grandmother's garden. Wendigo, Great Lakes cannibalistic spirit. Picture this terrifying scenario. You're camping near the Great Lakes during a brutal winter when you hear someone desperately crying for help in the distance. That's not a lost hiker in distress. That's a Wendigo, and responding to that cry is basically signing your own death certificate with a bright red crayon. The Wendigo is what happens when cannibalism meets supernatural horror and decides to open a franchise. According to ancient Algonquian folklore, this horrifying thing used to be human before it developed an insatiable taste for people meat. Now it's a 15-foot-tall walking nightmare with yellowed fangs, sunken eyes, and an appetite that would make even a zombie feel completely inadequate. The creature expertly mimics human voices to lure unsuspecting victims, then turns them into more Wendigos through its infectious bite. It's basically like a horror movie MLM scheme, where the only product is human flesh and eternal suffering. Chupacabra, southwestern livestock predator. Welcome to Puerto Rico and Mexico, where livestock disappears faster than your weekly paycheck. And the only evidence left behind looks like someone threw a vampire's dinner party. The Chupacabra, literally meaning goat sucker, is basically what you'd get if you crossed a lizard with a vampire and gave it serious anger management issues. This terrifying thing stands about 4 feet tall, walks on 2 legs like it's confidently heading to a job interview, and has sharp spikes running down its back like a punk rock porcupine with attitude problems. But the real horror show is its precise feeding method. The Chupacabra doesn't just kill animals randomly, it drains them completely of blood through surgical puncture wounds, leaving behind perfectly mummified carcasses that look like they've been sitting in a desert for months. Recent eyewitness sightings describe it having large, glowing red eyes that seem to hypnotize prey completely, which explains how it manages to feed on animals without any signs of struggle whatsoever. Mothman, West Virginia Bridge. Collapse prophet. Point Pleasant, West Virginia, 1966. People start seeing a massive 7-foot-tall creature with glowing red eyes and wings like a military fighter jet. Then the Silver Bridge suddenly collapses, killing 46 innocent people. Coincidence? The Mothman definitely doesn't think so. This winged nightmare isn't just scary to look at. It's basically a harbinger of doom with frequent flyer miles and a really twisted sense of timing. Witnesses describe the Mothman as having a wingspan wider than a small airplane and eyes that burn like headlights from hell itself. The creature appears before major disasters, making it either a supernatural prophet or the world's worst good luck charm. After the bridge collapse, Mothman sightings spread across America, always appearing before major tragedies. It's like having a supernatural disaster alert system that only shows up after you've already bought non-refundable tickets to your doom. Jersey Devil, Pine Barrens winged demon. New Jersey gave us the Jersey Shore and also this flying nightmare called the Jersey Devil. According to local legend, this thing was born in 1735 when a woman cursed her 13th child, who immediately transformed into a demon and flew up the chimney. The Jersey Devil looks like someone took a kangaroo, gave it bat wings, a horse's head, and a really bad attitude. Standing about 3 feet tall with a blood-curdling scream that sounds like a mixture of banshee and air raid siren, this creature has been terrorizing the Pine Barrens for almost 3 centuries. Unlike other cryptids that stick to remote areas, the Jersey Devil enjoys urban exploration, regularly spotted flying over cities and suburbs. It's basically the first cryptid to embrace metropolitan living while maintaining its murderous woodland roots. Skunk Ape, Florida Everglades Sasquatch. Florida's answer to Bigfoot is the skunk ape, and honestly, it's exactly what you'd expect from the state that gave us Florida Man and alligator wrestling. This creature is like Bigfoot's trashy cousin, who moved to the swamp and developed a seriously problematic hygiene situation. Standing 7 feet tall and smelling like a horrifying combination of roadkill and sewage treatment plant, The skunk ape makes regular Bigfoot seem like he uses premium designer deodorant. Unlike its Pacific Northwest cousin, the skunk ape is significantly more aggressive and considerably less camera shy. Witnesses describe it stealing food from campsites, terrorizing airboat tours, and generally being the worst possible neighbor in an already dangerous ecosystem. The creature's distinctive smell is so overpowering that people often detect its presence before seeing it, which is basically nature's way of giving you a generous head start before you become gator bait. Beast of Bladenboro, North Carolina vampire cat. North Carolina's Beast of Bladenboro is what happens when someone takes a regular house cat and feeds it nothing but steroids and violence. This creature showed up in the 1950s with a very specific business model: drain dogs of blood while leaving the meat untouched. The beast looks like a large cat, but with the feeding habits of a vampire and the attitude of a serial killer. It doesn't hunt for survival, it hunts for sport. The creature toys with its prey, chasing dogs in circles before delivering precise killing bites that drain all blood through circular puncture wounds. Eyewitnesses describe glowing yellow eyes and fangs that would make a saber-toothed tiger jealous. It moves with unnatural speed, leaping over 6-foot fences like they're speed bumps. Pope Lick Monster, Kentucky Railroad Trickster. Kentucky's Pope Lick Monster is basically what you'd get if you crossed a goat with a human and gave it a really twisted sense of humor. This half-man, half-goat creature lives under a railroad trestle and has developed the world's worst hobby, tricking people into standing on train tracks. Standing about 7 feet tall with the legs of a goat and the torso of a bodybuilder, the Pope Lick Monster uses hypnosis and voice mimicry to lure victims onto the trestle where oncoming trains turn them into statistics. The creature feeds on the chaos and terror of train accidents, making it basically a supernatural disaster enthusiast. What makes this cryptid particularly dangerous is its intelligence and patience. It studies train schedules better than most conductors and times its attacks perfectly. The scariest part isn't that these creatures might exist. It's that they each represent a different flavor of horrible death. You've got your classic mauling, blood draining, psychological warfare, disaster prophecy, demonic possession, toxic exposure, serial killing, and railroad pancaking. It's like a horror movie buffet where every option ends with you becoming the main course. So which cryptid would you least want to encounter on a late-night camping trip? Let me know in the comments which one gave you nightmares, and if you think you can handle even more terrifying content, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, we're just getting started with the things that'll make you question every shadow you see.